Hey everyone, this is Wobbly Wallaby. In Ragnarok M Classic, are you loyal to a class or do you prefer to chase the overpowered classes later on? Personally, since playing Ragnarok M Classic, I've switched classes a few times. Sometimes it went well and sometimes it went horribly. Personally, I'm not loyal to a class in games. I always switch to the classes I feel are more efficient or overpowered. Now, it also does help in both Classic and Eternal Love. The devs rarely nerf busted classes, so it's quite a safe bet. But I'd say one of the frustrating parts of Classic is how hard it is to make Zeny from the exchange, so it does limit how much fun you can have, since it's quite expensive to get gear as well as level up master skills. Also, there seems to be some imbalance with the master skills, especially with the new ones. Some classes got great buffs so people can continue playing it, but some classes also didn't get great ones, so they feel like they might need to move to other classes. So stay tuned as I talk about my progress, and I'd love to hear yours as well. Now, before I continue, if you're looking to top up on Ragnarok M Classic, then use Lapakgaming. Lapakgaming is a safe platform where people can top up at a cheaper price for Ragnarok M Classic and a lot of other games too. Here you can see they have a cheaper Kafka Adventure log, which is great, and then they also have Zeny top-ups with bonuses at various quantities. Here I'll choose the 360 million with the 40 million bonus Zeny. As for payment type, there's a huge variety available. Then just enter your user ID, which you can copy from in-game by pressing your character's profile and then the ID button. Then you just paste it in. For the promo code, enter event ROMC for a further 3% off. Then you can check out and see the discounted price. Lapakgaming is guaranteed safe with a 10 times money back guarantee, so it's as safe refining. So check them out, and thanks to Lapakgaming for sponsoring this video. Now, since the game's release, I have chosen Mechanic from the start. It is a solid class that I have enjoyed playing, and I really like the master skill too. Mechanic has lots of damage modifiers that is free to play or semi-free to play friendly too. You can also use elemental converters, so it's quite flexible to get elemental advantage. Due to that power, I was able to solo the Brave Golem with a lot of rift gear, no plus 15 anything, and also no MVP cards. In addition, it is the best class for farming, and you'll often see maps full of mechanics taking advantage of the great passives mechanics have to get more Zeny and drops. I had originally moved away from this class because I lacked contribution and good gear, so I needed a stronger class with something more overpowered. This is a bit of a warning for people moving away to a new class too quickly, especially with contribution and guild blessings not too high. Those make a big difference, and over time you will see your class get stronger. But fortunately I wasn't patient enough, so I decided to try Genetic. The Genetic attack hammer switch trick is great, and if you're facing enemies weak to fire, then you can do crazy damage due to Magnum Break, converting your homunculus damage to fire. The humor attack switch is quite unfair because it gives you tons of extra attack, but it does require you to have another set of equipment, which is boosted for attack and attack percentage. Now, why I stopped investing in this class was the homunculus AI is sometimes really frustrating to deal with, and if you're too far, you can't kite as well. The APR for Mechanic is much better at kiting than the homunculus, and the AI is better as well. At least with Eleanor, it has some problems dealing with mobs, and I prefer something with better AoE. Also, if the target's not weak to fire, then your damage definitely falls dramatically. I do prefer the flexibility of converting to any element instead. Also, if your homunculus dies, you have to do the Yummer switch again, which can be hard mid-battle. I prefer homunculus to be immortal as they are in Eternal Love, and I really hope they will implement this in the future in Classic. Also, from joining public parties, I haven't seen genetics in a while. I think back when instances were easier when the game was first released, it was okay, but sadly it lost its popularity. Now for public parties, that's also dangerous because there's a good chance people will auto-kick you just because they see your class as not popular. Now, Genetic isn't totally useless. I do use it for mini hunting since it's quite good at dealing fast damage, which Mechanic does not do. The minis have a cap on how much damage you can do, so being able to hit very frequently helps a lot. So later I moved to Shura. I was honestly inspired by other Shura videos where it looked like it could solo content. I also had gear that I could easily transfer to Shura since it shares a lot with Mechanic. It's really only the weapon that's different. I also loved that Shiro could get a lot of ignore defense, something that I really lacked from Mechanic. Now after testing it out in Brave instances with my current gear, it just wasn't enough, and I think my Mechanic can do more damage, especially with ABR. So while Shiro is strong, my budget just couldn't support it. Others have been successful with it, but I would need much better gear. Also lately in PvE, I also haven't seen Shiro being used a lot either, so again it may not be as popular as a class, so it's not worth investing in. So after that, I decided to switch back to Mechanic and continue to invest in my contribution and gear. Now I decided to buy gearing cards that are usable by all skill damage physical damage DPS, like a refined 12 Ancient Cape, Moon X Star, or Andre Star card. So unfortunately I'm not a big spender, so my DPS just isn't that high with Mechanic, so unfortunately I couldn't contribute a ton to damage, and I would often get rejected from public parties as well. I've had similar feelings even back in Eternal Love when I was semi-free to play and couldn't do much, so I decided to go to Royal Guard, which I felt people were more willing to accept in certain instances. So I'm going to go to Instance Slash eventually, but for now I'm focusing on tanking for my party, and it's been nice to join parties and not get instantly kicked. Now of course if you play with your guildmates or friends then that really isn't a problem, but I wanted to see what the public party experience was in Ragnarok M Classic, since I've seen comments in my videos sometimes that they get instant kicked. So far I have been enjoying Royal Guard, and this will be something I'll be working on in the next couple of months. Now I'd say I regret investing time and Zeny on Genetic and Shura. Those weren't unfair enough for me to invest in, and also doesn't seem that popular these days, so it's very easy to get kicked from parties. But of course if you have really good gear and you're doing open equipment, then people will gladly accept you. It really just comes down to what kind of gears I have. Now I'd say one thing I really hope the devs do is deal with the exchange. Sadly it's very hard to experiment and have fun with various classes, and that's one thing I really enjoyed about Eternal Love and still enjoy these days. In that game I buy and sell a ton on the exchange, and that way I can have fun with a variety of classes. And that's also the same problem with Master Skills. I really like that they added it to Ragnarok M Classic, but unfortunately it's so expensive that it's very hard to have fun with this. And that might be why Warlock and Royal Guard are so dominant these days. People are just choosing to invest in something very unfair because they're more likely to be accepted in public parties and also have some long-term success. But I do know many people that are very loyal to their classes. They'll stick with it no matter what happens because they really enjoy the class, and that's fine too. It's always good to play classes that you enjoy. So I'm looking forward to hearing what your strategy is, whether it's sticking with one class or switching to overpowered classes as they come along. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Here's a video that I'd recommend, and if you want more Ragnarok M Classic videos, check out this playlist over here.